Swordfights on the Heights Reforge is truly an amazing game. Though it has been released for just a year, there are many things that are either interesting or confusing, and are either in the community or in the game itself. And today, we will be going through this iceberg made by my good friend Apoqck. But without further ado, let's start at the very top. Swordfights on the Heights 4 is the original game that Reforge is based off. Made by Telamon, who's also known as Shedletsky, it features the original 7 SFOTH swords and a simple yet fun map. Swordfights on the Heights Reforge is not made by one guy like how IV is, but instead it was made with a dev team consisting of 3 people. Jack is the main developer for the game, alongside Normal and Dr. Dig, who all do different things in their roles. Game Pass items are in-game microtransactions that you can buy with Robux to give you unique swords or permanent swords that are already on the map. Most of the Game Pass only swords are not overpowered though, just to make everything fair for the free-to-play players. The only pay-to-win aspect is the fact that you can purchase map swords to have them in your inventory from the start. But it doesn't matter much if you know how to avoid people and build up your kit in a few minutes. Badges are in-game achievements that a player can get in-game. In Reforge, there's plenty of easy badges, but there's a handful of difficult badges as well, like the developer badges or the streaking badges. Glory vs Apoqck was a recent event that happened on the 31st of May where you could choose either the Glory or the Apoqck team. If you got 250 general kills during that event, you would get a special sword depending on what team you chose. If you chose Glory, then you would have gotten the Highlander, and if you chose Apoqck, then you got the SFOTH Firebrand, both being reskins of Firebrand with no immunity to Ice Dagger. The team with the most general kills would win the event, and in the end, Apoqck won, giving them some okayish effects. Reforge hosts a lot of tournaments, whether it would be streaking tournaments. Every time there's an update, most likely there will be an event, the most recent one being the 1x update and tournament. Content creators on Reforge are people who make videos about Swordfights on the Heights Reforge. There are not many content creators as I speak, but there has been some recent attempts to encourage more people to make videos about SFOTH. There are also special privileges for you if you become a content creator, like a content creator role, access to talk to the developers of the game, sneak peeks of the game, and resources to help people make the said videos. The Reforge Discord server can be found in the game's links and is the main place where people talk about SFOTH or any topics. They can also report exploiters in-game and see update logs. The Reforge Frontpage trailer is an official trailer for the game. The trailer itself shows off the multiple swords the game has and some of the fictional characters alongside real Reforge members like Apoqck and Dominic. Reforge has a dev team that actually cares about their game, so occasionally every few months there is a new sword released. There's a lot of swords right now, and there will be plenty more later on. Reforge hosts a lot of tournaments where you can win special prizes like rolls, exclusive swords, or sometimes even Robux, and a dueling tournament is one of them. They are much rarer than the usual streaking tournament in which you have to get the highest streak in a specific set. In a dueling tournament, you have to join during a specific time in a private server and you will eventually get picked to fight another person. If you win, then you move on to the next round, and if you lose, then you're out. The cycle repeats until there's top 3 winners who get special prizes. But most of the time, dueling tournaments don't give out special swords like the Azure Periastron or the Epic Katana, instead giving you the basic 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place swords. The staff team are people in the community who both moderate the game and the Discord server. There were some special cases of people only moderating in the server though, but they no longer exist. Currently, there is no application to be one. Instead, the person gets chosen by the developer or the owner. And the staff team does a great job at banning exploiters within minutes. Exploiters in Reforge are kids who use scripts to gain advantage in a game. Most of the times, those exploiters are little kiddies who can't get a kill to death ratio higher than 0.2, so they feel the need to exploit in the game, though they get very quickly banned from the game by the moderators. Tournament items are sword prizes that you gain by winning in a tournament. Some of them are reskins like the Azure Periastron, which is a reskin of Void Color, but some are unique like the Epic Katana, which has a whole different movement that gives you opportunities for interesting tactics. Monster is a special sword that you achieve for getting a streak of 1000. It has its own movement system, but it is similar to the Illumina, which many people use as an Illumina extender, but it looks way much cooler than the Illumina. The good poster role is a joke role in Reforge Discord server, which was granted only to one person. Poopy Fart. He actually kept up this persona for years, and it seems like he will be keeping it up amongst other communities, not just Reforge. The top donators are people who are generous enough to give the game and the devs some Robux. The top 1 donator, Dancing Forever in the Locust, but you can actually get a sword called Claymore if you are the top 15 donators. But it's a really mediocre sword and is not worth spending thousands of Robux on. The bad poster era was the era where Jack was giving out the bad poster role to everybody. If you do not know, then the bad poster role would restrict a person from talking in the heist, and is mainly used to silence annoying people. And Jack gave that role to everybody and anybody, basically being the fun police and giving you bad poster if you did anything slightly stupid or annoying. Even though Reforge is their main game, Dom and Jack also like to develop on some other projects, most of them being revives of old and broken games, just like how IV is. Though most of the passion projects I hear from Dom, I only see mentioned once before it is never mentioned again. An example of that would be the fencing game that had a whole tournament about it, yet there is no update on the development of the said fencing game. This describes how many people feel like the Discord server in 2026 is slowly declining with inside jokes that are stupid at best, and with many new players repeating that same joke over and over again to the point that it's annoying. Reforged is a small community, but it still has inside jokes such as D's bait, which Apoqck has popularized. There's also much more like gubbies, which is a way for calling new players or posers, or Mike Lindell. Devils of Marley is a Reforged member who's known mainly for using a few phrases so often that it soon became iconic. And annoying because other people started to use it. Some of them include Sububu please, Shut up please, blocked messages, and many more. He's not praised nor is he hated, just a funny guy that you would see every day repeating the same thing. Well, it was funny until everybody else started doing the same thing, and then it became unfunny. Game nights were meant for the community to get on and play a few games alongside the devs of the game. Though they were hosted once or twice in the beginning of Reforge, and then forgotten for almost a year before having another one hosted a month or two ago, and will most likely remain as this niche thing that people have forgotten about. The no AI image is a rule that Jack made that states that any and all AI images that are not in the abyss will be deleted, since Jack himself is not a big fan of AI, especially when it comes to AI art. The Bram boss fight is an in-game event that happened on October 10th of 2025, where people could fight the ARG character Brand, and the fight itself was okay-ish. Stagey was another known member for Reforge. He joined Reforge during its more earlier days and managed to become a moderator for the Discord server. Though he was soon demoted for talking about religion and politics, and in general just saying really strange stuff and strong opinions when they were not called for. He later got banned, unbanned, and then banned again, this time permanently. The comments is a voice channel where most people gather up to talk, though most of the time it's the same people in the channel talking about anything. Apoqck is a known Reforge member, being there during its early times, and although he does not participate in a lot of tournaments, he's still a very awesome person to talk to, even if he doesn't play Reforge a lot. The Brand and Voidcaller ARG were the first attempts to add a story to the simple sword fighting game. To briefly sum it up, Eternal Darkness first started off as a simple sword fighter. Being so loyal to SFOTH, he made a sword of his own called the Firebrand, and Shedletsky loved it so much that he put it into SFOTH. But soon, Shedletsky abandoned the heist, and it leading to become an anarchy. In a time of panic, Brand made the heist to try and contain the anarchy, but soon died in an unknown way. A year prior, he came back, now calling himself Brand, and trying to take over the heist with the use of the Firebrand, Ghostwalker, Skydagger, and Hyacinth, but soon got defeated by the player and remained in the abyss forever. And the lore for Builder Noob is he once found a sword in a strange place and took it for himself, the sword slowly corrupting his arm, but he pretends that it's fine. Eternal had a bit where anytime he saw anything he liked, he would repeat and say, "You sir have won the internet," which became a gag for a little while, though he soon gave it up. Most early supporters came from the game Tradelands, and it's actually the game that Dominic and Jack met. And although it is not directly mentioned, Dom and Jack like to say references to Tradelands in chat, although nobody gets it. League 3 is the third video of the Brand ARG that was anticipated to release for almost a year now, but there were none. The previous two leaks were the starting point of the Brand ARG, and although most of the lore would be revealed from Dominic talking about it, the first two leaks were the starting point. Though there has been some talk about the possibility that League 3 would release on October of this year.
Hey everybody, I'm Apoqck. I'm EQR's friend and I'll be taking over for Layer 5 and anything below it. The server had a lot of Reforged members, with Link Swordsman 7 hosting a lot of tournaments that people would participate in. Though Link Swordsman 7 soon gave up his persona and gave the server ownership to Sendy, who drove the server into the ground.
Xreal, or XJ, is an infamous member of the Reforged community, known for being disliked by many, often getting into arguments, and his obsession for the fictional character Lily from the Pokemon series. The obsession growing to the point of commissioning multiple art pieces for the character. He later on made a group where he invited a bunch of people from Reforge, including moderators. XJ then later tried to sell or buy a limited from a mod who snitched and got XJ banned. And that snitching led to another member called Bread to also get banned because of a joke where he said he was gonna raid the Reforge server. Though Bread soon got unbanned because the original reason is ridiculous, and the owner soon realized that, though XJ remains banned to this day.
Now you see, this one's a personal favorite of mine. The FL Studio Incident is an event where Bonespore, a fellow content creator of OKR, wanted to get plugins for After Effects. So he went on some sketchy websites and ignored all the warnings, eventually downloading some malware and getting his Discord account hacked, having to reset his PC and tell everyone that he had been Mr. Beast. Feeden is a known player in Reforged, being known for the fact that he has exploited for months, and the devs did not do anything about it until there was evidence that was so concrete it could have been ignored or excused. And the whole reason why the dev team let Feeden do what he did was because he used to be the top donator in Reforged, though today that has been overtaken by many people. Early contributor role. This is a role that you would get if you supported the game early in its development. It's rare for people who are early contributors to still be active in Reforged, but there are a few. Mr. Beast. Getting Mr. Beast, I quote-unquote, explains an event where a person gets their account hacked, most likely through sketchy uploads, and then sends everybody in their DM the same Mr. Beast scam. The thing is that so many people got their account hacked this way that it's very concerning.
Monomate used to be a member of the Reforged community. He was never really into sword fighting and was most likely there just for the community, staying in VCs for a long time and talking with people. Though if you were ever in a VC with him, then you could tell that he wasn't always there mentally. Eventually, he left the server himself after getting into a huge argument and getting angry at a person.
Go take a shower VC incident. In a random VC, there was a kid who had an older person in the background say take a shower, and many people misunderstood and thought it was Jason who said that, and it became an inside joke for a bit just to say, Jason, go take a shower.
The mass infection incident happened because of a bug early on where if you were in the locust, you could still be poisoned by venom shank and eventually be killed. One time, when everybody was in the locust, Feeden used that bug to his advantage and killed everyone who was in the locust.
Stick item. The stick item is a custom admin item that only a handful of people had. It was basically the stick of power gear in a game, and it kept on constantly breaking the game with each upgrade, Jack eventually having enough of it and refusing to keep on fixing it. Pumpkin. Pumpkin is now a retired staff member for Reforged, being a moderator and one of the few people who had the crescendo in the Stick of Power. He's not as active as he was today, but he still occasionally checks up on Reforged. Clanning. Clanning is a different genre of sword fighting where people would fight with the linked sword and get into different clans, fighting to see who was the best sword fighter or clanner. Petey. Petey is a well-known hacker on Roblox, being involved in the 2012 April Fool's hack before his account was terminated, and then unterminated. Some people speculate for Petey and Feeden to be the same person, but whether that's the case, we have no clue. Well, if you ask me, I think he's a LARP.
Fronos was another infamous player that joined Reforged in its early days. She managed to get the moderator role for the server, and later on banned Martin from the server. She later on lost her moderator role and soon left the server because she got the bad poster role, which blocked you from talking in the heights. A few months later, she came back, but was shortly banned because many people found her antics annoying.
Fraudulent bans. Though the mod team is great, there were some times where bans felt either unreasonable or unfair. An example of that would be Brad getting banned over a joke of him raiding the server, though he was shortly unbanned after the mod team realized how ridiculous it was. It was also the ban of Tree Monk, and although his first ban was fair with him asking leaks from a banned player, the second ban was because he pissed off Dominic to the point of getting banned. Mike Lindell. This is an inside joke where a person in alternate reality named Mike Lindell kept on resetting his character for no reason at all, and he kept on doing it for minutes, with it eventually becoming an inside joke that only a handful of people know. The disappearance of Corbin was an incident that happened around 7 to 8 months ago, where Corbin, aka Corbin368, deleted all of his videos and then his entire channel. Though he recently came back with a new channel and he somehow managed to get his old account back, which he most likely used to archive all of his old videos. Vel. Vel was yet another infamous Reforge member, but she was actually somewhat forgotten. She got banned because she harassed a teen girl and tried to spread leaks about the game because she had the tester role, eventually getting herself banned and her name slowly forgotten. The Plaza. The Plaza is a game where Dominic originally promoted his project of reviving SFOTH with his own game called Reforged, and it's where many early contributors came and supported the project. Ah, how those days have passed. Retrodan Sun's First Buck. It is somewhat related to Reforged, with Retrodan making a couple videos about Reforged. Me and I, Apoqck, tried to get Retrodan to watch this specific video, though all of my attempts have failed.
Look at this creature's teeth! It's so disgusting!
Rusty Soul is a forgotten Reforge member who was known because he was furious over not becoming a mod for the game. Getting so mad, he left the server and never came back.
Early mod team. The early batch of moderators had strict rules on how to ban exploiters. Unlike today where mods can jail a person and GPU crash the exploiter, you had to go invisible and fly around the map to see if an exploiter was in the server. First Reforged members. Most of the first Reforged members were from the Trainlands game, which is also how they have their early supporter role. Train Wars Remake. A remake of an old game called Train Wars that Jack made, which was mentioned only a handful of times, and there is currently no update to the game.
I hope that you enjoyed this video and maybe learned a thing or two about this community. And I'll see you next Saturday. Bye bye.